Live from your trusted local news source, KCRG News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for the KCRG-TV9 News at 6. I'm Emily Schrod. Of course, we're starting off today with something that is on most people's minds, the government shutdown going in over 30 days now. Today, U.S. Senate candidate Zach Wahls held a rally outside of Ashley Hinson's office. People at that rally were demanding the government be reopened and also calling for protections for the Affordable Care Act. Let's take a listen here really quick at what a little bit of that sounded like. Just one second. Sorry, I'm new to this, you guys, and just trying to get everything all figured out. Let's take a listen, like I said.
Vote her out! Vote her out!
So that was a little bit of what you were hearing from the rally with the crew we had there this morning. Again, Zach Wahls today placing blame on Republicans for the shutdown, as both sides of the aisle have been doing, kind of placing blame on each other for this shutdown. And now let's hear a little bit from Zach Wahls from his rally this afternoon.
Republicans in the Senate are responsible for this shutdown. They refuse to negotiate. They refuse to have any conversations with Democratic leadership.
And tonight we're going to hear more from Zach Wahls on the shutdown and the Affordable Care Act. Meanwhile, from Hinson's team, we had a statement from her. They said that Hinson voted to keep the government open and again placed the shutdown blame on the Democrats. Like I said, everybody kind of just going back and forth on who to blame for the government shutdown. Now, of course, like we talked about, they were also calling for Affordable Care Act protections. That is something open enrollment starting today, of course, for those who get health insurance from the Affordable Care Act. Now, some Iowans could be seeing an increase in those prices. To tell us a little bit more of that is Kayla James with our coverage partner from KCCI over in Des Moines.
Every year before open enrollment, Janice Van On, an insurance advisor, hosts a webinar.
Typically, we have about 60 or 70 who will sign up or show up.
But as the government shutdown continues without a vote to extend the Affordable Care Act's enhanced premium tax credits this year,
we had 132 sign up for the live webinar and 103 show up.
The enhanced premium tax credits introduced during the pandemic in 2021 and extended in 2022 increased the amount of financial assistance that could be received. They also expanded eligibility for subsidies to people who made over 400% of the federal poverty level. If Congress does not vote to extend, the enhanced premium tax credits are set to expire at the end of 2025. Van On gives an example of the changes using a two-person household, ages 60 and 62, with an income of $84,800, just 1% over $400 of the federal poverty level.
They would have had $1,191, or about 66% of their premium covered. Again, 26, no help.
But the same two people with an income at exactly 400% of the federal poverty level will receive $1,193 per month covered with the tax subsidies and $1,090 without. The Iowa Insurance Division says 112,000 Iowans on the Affordable Care Act marketplace will see a difference. Van On says one of the worst things they can do is procrastinate and not review their account early in the 45 days of open enrollment. As for people who no longer qualify for subsidies,
start with your budget, review your account, and hopefully you can get it to where there's some help. And more importantly, hopefully our government can get things figured out.
Kayla James, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
Thank you so much, Kayla, for giving us that information. And of course, like we talked about today, is day 32 of the government shutdown. Millions of people set to lose SNAP benefits, and a judge ordering the Trump administration that they have to pay for that. But a lot of confusion around what's happening there and what that's going to look like. So in the meantime, many people are turning to food banks to get what they need. A lot of them are concerned they're not going to be able to eat. And millions of other people are trying to help those food banks as well across the country and right here in Iowa. Lacey Reeves takes us to the Coral Ridge Mall, where today a sculpture contest is more than just looks.
Thousands of canned goods were stacked, organized, and crafted into different creations on Saturday at Coral Ridge Mall.
Do we have one more can of tomatoes somewhere? Because we have black beans here.
Kylie Salepa led her team in constructing a hockey goal with a matching hockey stick and puck. But these cans of food aren't just for show.
Well, we felt it was really important right now with the pause coming on food stamps and SNAP, so we wanted to do something that donated directly to the food pantries, and this came along at our desk at the perfect time.
Salepa's creation alone will provide almost 900 cans of food to the Community Crisis Services Food Bank.
We have the cans, so whatever reinforcements we need to make, let's make them.
Combined with the other structures, the teams donated over 5,000 cans to help provide for those that stand to lose their SNAP benefits if government funds for the program run out.
We're just so excited that we're in a position that we're able to give back and that we're able to do something for our community.
Community Crisis Services events manager says the donations couldn't have come at a better time. In just the last week, its food bank saw a 60% increase in people coming in for food.
This is going to do a lot for folks. It actually might be dispersed in one day. So that's how many folks we see coming through the door at the food bank. So yeah, it won't last long.
We will be playing Jenga, apparently. Okay, come on.
And while Salepa says construction might have been a bit of a challenge, she says it was worth it to help others.
The big thing for us is the community and just being a presence within it, and we just hope that people see things like this and want to give back to their community more as well.
Building masterpieces and helping the community. In Coralville, Lacey Reeves, KCRG-TV9 News.
Welcome back. We are joined now with AJ, who's got some weather for us, and it's been really nice out recently.
It really has been. We're starting to get that nice fall weather in today. A little bit cool out there, a little bit gloomy and cloudy as well, but we've got really nice weather on the way in terms of getting outside. As we have a look outside this evening, we are seeing those cloudy skies, a little bit gloomy out there, but it is generally a good time to be outside. Now take that in. Right now it is 6:10 in the evening. We still have sunlight. That's the last time we're going to see sunlight at this time of day for quite a while. We do turn the clocks back as we go through our night to night, which means an earlier sunrise, earlier sunsets, and the end of daylight saving time. Right now, temperatures are in the mid-40s across the area, and you could see in those city cams, still looking at some clouds drifting through, and you'll see some little spots of green here showing up on satellite and radar. Some of the heaviest stuff going on down around Washington and south of Interstate 80. Some of this activity might be reaching the ground and producing a few sprinkles near the surface, but keep in mind, we've been talking about over the last couple of days how a lot of what you see on radar doesn't quite make it to the ground thanks to dry air at the surface. And that's a lot of what we're seeing this evening. So spotty sprinkles as you go through the rest of your night, or excuse me, the rest of your evening. As we get into your overnight hours, that rain does come to an end, skies clear, and we're going to watch for mostly clear skies overnight and then a mostly sunny start to your day on Sunday. During the day Sunday, it's a little sunnier, a little warmer than what we had today, so a good time to get outside and enjoy this really nice fall weather, because everyone knows that winter's coming, which means it's going to get a lot more chilly out there. So not quite as pleasant for being outside.
You know, I'm not really excited for winter. You said winter's coming, and I just audibly was like, no thank you. I don't know. I don't know if I can handle that just yet.
You know, I think I'm kind of with you on that one. I'm really liking the fall weather. That first chilly fall day I stepped outside, is like, you know, it's a step towards snow and cold weather, but this is nice. Like that intermediate where it's a little chilly in the mornings, nicer in the afternoons. I'm enjoying it right now. It's been nice to not be sweating when you're running around during the day. So it's a really nice in between. And really, I would say this fall overall across eastern Iowa been very nice for that.
Right, and I was going to say, it felt like we were maybe getting less of fall because it was so hot the last couple of weeks before we started seeing this kind of cooler weather kick in. So I'm happy it's sticking around, because I know sometimes of the years we could have snow right now.
Oh yeah, there have certainly been years, and there have been years where I've been up here that we've seen that snow fall in October. I can remember some times back at Iowa State playing in the snow mid-October, building snowmen. So we're certainly not looking at that, but that cooler weather, as everyone knows, it gets here eventually. So when we have that nice weather, make sure to get out and enjoy it.
I know a couple people here at the station are ready for snow.
Oh yeah, my boss is one of them. Shout out to Joe. He's always ready for snow. It could be July and he'll be excited
Exactly.
for it.
And meanwhile, I'm over here like snow on Christmas, and that's it. That's where I'm at with that. But AJ, thank you so much for giving us the weather here. We're going to take another break, and then Jack will join us with some sports.
We'll jump over to that one.
Yep.
And
Iowa State losers of 3 in a row, and here they go. Rocco Becht scores the first touchdown. He finished the day a solid 18 of 36, 186 yards passing, and a touchdown. He also had, obviously, a rushing touchdown. But the problem, Emily, was Iowa State couldn't really contain Jeff Sims. You may recognize his name from Nebraska lore. Jeff Sims is 23 years old. Typical starting quarterback Sam Levitt was not in the game this afternoon. He's out with injury. Sims is the backup, and he played fantastic. Iowa State's defense was really good in some aspects. When it comes to throwing the ball, Sims was fine. 13 of 24, 177 yards, and a touchdown. They had huge moments like this one. Ike Ezeagu able to recover that fumble forced by Will McLaughlin, and that led to this Benjamin Bramer touchdown. But back to the defense. Good in some moments, really poor in other moments. They allowed Jeff Sims to run for 235 yards. 88 of them came on this run right here. And when you can't contain the quarterback, well, that's a problem. That put Arizona State up by 8. State obviously stayed in it. This was not a blowout by any means. Look at this throw. A great one to Chase Sowell. But that leads to a field goal. Iowa State, I'd like to point to this number, was 4 out of 4 on their red zone scoring chances, but 2 of those 4 were field goals. Do the math there. 2 field goals and 2 touchdowns as opposed to 4 touchdowns. That's an 8-point swing. Another big swing, Iowa State missed 2 field goals and an extra point. That's 7 points right there. And there was your play of the game. 4th and 6, they throw to Chase Sowell, and he slips before the first down marker, and that was pretty much it. Iowa State walking off the field after a 24-19 loss. Why don't we hear from Matt Campbell if we could?
And I certainly don't feel like we've taken a step back, especially with the amount of young guys that are critically playing critical reps. Again, when you look at it, you go back to some of those, those critical moments. Man, we had the quarterback tackled in the hole. We don't finish on the tackle, and he goes 80 yards for the touchdown. You get the ball to the 2-yard line. You don't punch it in for a touchdown. You get, whatever they called the illegal block. And now all of a sudden you're kicking a field goal. And it's really hard to win those games making some of those errors. So we got to continue to find the best ways to put our kids in the best position to be the most successful. But the fight, the toughness, stuck in the circle, playing really good football at times and having some critical moments that we're missing the beat on. I think that's probably the most frustrating. And again, we got to continue to find a way to get it done. And from players and coaches, all of us alike, we got to keep pounding at it.
Keep pounding at it. That is the message from Matt Campbell. And in hearing from the players, we'll hear a lot more from them at 10. Whereas last week was they're not quitting. This week, I'm not saying they're quitting, but they looked really dejected after a game that they could have won. A lot of people may argue they should have won this game.
It kind of seems like they're playing really good football, but just not kind of getting there at the end.
Yeah, Matt Campbell mentioned that. He mentioned it's just critical moments here and there. I'll read you the stats. In terms of first downs, Arizona State got 21 first downs. Iowa State got 20. Net yardage, we're looking at, I'm reading all this off the fly. 467 for Arizona State, 336 for Iowa State. Iowa State was able to turn the ball over twice, as in take the ball away twice. This is an Iowa State team that, if you look at the film, they're playing really well. Quarterback Rocco Becht, I think he made one critical mistake. It was an interception. But when the critical mistakes happen, one team takes advantage, and one team, obviously, is on the back foot. Iowa State had their chances. They couldn't take advantage of the couple mistakes that Arizona State had, and vice versa. The exact opposite thing happened. Every time Iowa State made a mistake, pretty much Arizona State was able to capitalize. No play was more key than that 4th and 6 pass out to Chase Sowell, in which he slipped short of the sticks.
So this 4th loss in a row for Iowa State. What does this mean for playoffs, bowl picture? Kind of explain that to me.
Yeah. So the playoff and the Big 12 championship are out. We pretty much knew that over the last week after the loss to BYU. Iowa State no longer controls their own destiny. If they were to win out, as in win this game against Arizona State and then win the rest of the games, they could hope for a miracle, but but it's not going to happen now for sure after that loss. Iowa State is a team that has gone to bowl games consistently, and they only need one more win to go to a bowl game, and I think they're going to get it. But what Matt Campbell would probably tell you is that this team doesn't. They're not measured at the yardstick of a bowl game, of going to a Tampa Bay or a Phoenix. And I think that's a good thing for Iowa State, Iowa State fans. They're happy that this is no longer a team that's happy and psyched to go to a bowl game. This is a team that expects 9 or 10 wins. 9 wins is still possible if they win out and then win in a bowl game. I'm doing the math. If they do win in a bowl game, nine wins as a disappointing season for Iowa State fans is not. You know what I'm saying? 20 years ago, if you told an Iowa State fan, hey, you're going to have 9 wins and it's going to be a disappointment, they're going to be like, what?
Usually 9 wins is a pretty good thing, huh?
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry, Emily. I do want to update on the situation of Benjamin Bramer, who we saw the touchdown from him later. Benjamin Bramer was taken off on a stretcher, but we got word from Iowa State that he was taken to a local hospital, the Mary Greeley Medical Center in Ames, and he has since been discharged. So good, a precautionary measure, obviously, to get him off the field safely. Obviously, a tough moment for all these players, but it appears, I don't know the exact nature of the injury. Matt Campbell was not able to update us, but we do know from ISU Athletics, they were able to email us and tell us Benjamin Bramer has been discharged from the hospital.
Good to hear, and of course, I'm sure we'll keep up on that as we hear more news. Do want to apologize at the beginning of sports there if you didn't hear us. I forgot to turn our mics up again. I'm appreciating you guys bearing with me on this. I'm very new, just trying to figure out the ropes here. But for now, cross country. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk cross country. I want to take you back to yesterday's action, Friday. We weren't able to cover a lot of it because of the football, the Friday Night Lights. But let's first take a look at Emerson Vokes, who finished we can play the highlight. Yeah, finishes in 15 minutes and 42 seconds. That's 5,000 meters, Emily.
Wow.
That's incredible. Vokes of Grundy Center wins his second straight cross-country title, but the story was in Class 3A in Quentin Nauman from Western Dubuque, who finishes in a new state cross-country meet record, 14 minutes, 48.3 seconds. The old record was 14:56.66, so he breaks that record by over 8 seconds. Let's hear from Quentin after the race.
Whoops.
I mean, it feels amazing. I looked up to Jackson Heidish, who used to hold that record. He was the first sub 4 miler, first guy to go sub 15. It's really cool to put my name up to him. I still count him as Iowa's GOAT, in my opinion.
I don't know if you heard that at the end. He was saying Jackson Heidish, the guy who had the old record from Dowling Catholic, Quentin still considers him the GOAT. I don't know if Heidish is I think Nauman might just be the GOAT. He's the state record holder in the 5,000 meter, that's the cross-country race. State record holder in the 800, that's track and field, 2 times around the track. He's the state record holder in the 1,500, which is 3 3/4 time around the track. Jeez. And oh, by the way, he's got the 3rd best time in state history in the 3,200. I'm going to say it, he's the distance GOAT in Iowa. I think Tim Dwight has the crown in terms of overall Iowa track and field, but in terms of distance running, it doesn't get better than Quentin Nauman, who we were able to hear from him. Couldn't get that soundbite in on the news at 6 yesterday, but happy we got to hear from him. What a guy. He still has a track season to go.
That's crazy. He's still rearing and ready to go with more stuff.
He is, yeah. He's headed to Oregon next year. So when you talk about track pro, if you guys don't know, Oregon is like the Alabama of track and field. Today we had the 4A and 1A races. We're going to show you those highlights later on in the news at 10. Colin Davies' report is on our website right now, but just to update you on that, in 4A, Jaden Merrick of Cedar Falls wins his race, and in 1A, Hugh Conway wins for South Winneshiek. No individual girls winners, but we did have a team winner. South Winneshiek girls win the 1A team race, and they do it without a single top 15 finisher, which shows you that cross country is really a team sport.
Wow, lots of fun stuff going on in the cross country world.
A ton in Fort Dodge. That's a fun event. It's cold, but those kids are tough as heck.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing Colin's report. Anything else from you for Sports Jack?
That's all I got. Iowa fans, if you're watching, you got a bye week. Tune in tonight I don't know if anyone in this room will be tuning into NBC, but Nebraska and USC, two of Iowa's upcoming November opponents, will be playing each other. I don't know who you're going to root for if you're an Iowa State fan or if you're an Iowa fan. I'm looking at you. I don't know who. I do know who you are going to root for.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about that. And then on ABC, if you want to tune into KCRG, a good one between Oklahoma and Tennessee. After that will be the news at 10.
Lots of good football on, and like Jack said, be sure to join us tonight after football for the KCRG-TV9 News at 10. We'll see you there. Thanks so much for watching.